Welcome, and I am so happy that you're all here. And it sounds like Robert took care of some of the housekeeping notes, so I'm not going to get into that. But for those of you that do not know me, my name is Elizabeth Heyer Rose, and I am a quantum healer and channel. And those of you that do know me most likely know me from my one-on-one private healing sessions. But I also spend quite a bit of my time in the field of global healing. And a couple of years ago, I started a group called Globy Tribe, where we focus on just that, global healing. And it's a very small group of metaphysicians and leaders, and we gather monthly to help shift, change, and make our world that we are in the process of becoming new even better. And this is the first time that I have opened this up to a larger group of people. And on this very auspicious day, I figured what a great time to do it. So welcome to our first larger gathering of Globy Tribe. I do think there'll be more of these in the future. And speaking of auspicious days, well, we all know what today is, but for those of you that may not, July 23rd, the reason it is such an auspicious day is because in many traditions, mine included, it is the most powerful day of the year. And why, might you ask? It is because the vortex of the star constellation Sirius opens for a 55-day period and divine light floods in. It floods into our lives, it floods into the planet, it just bathes us in wondrous, miraculous, divine light. And in the consensus and how we know this as the dog days of summer, but it is certainly a lot more than that. And that's what we're going to be about tonight. The dog days of summer, these 55 days, today, the most powerful day of the year. It's a time of rebirth. It's a time of miracles. It's a time of allowing love to flood into your being and craft things in your life and things in your world that perhaps you didn't think were possible. And that's one of the reasons why we asked you to bring with you to our gathering an impossible dream or wish. You know, every time I say that, what pops into my head is the Man of La Mancha, to dream the impossible dream. I will not sing anymore, I promise. But that keeps going in my head. And gosh, isn't that what we're here to do? At least part of what we're here to do is dream impossible dreams. Things that we don't think personally are possible for us, or gosh, maybe they're possible at some point and they're just out of reach. So it seemed really important for today to bring something forward that sort of takes us beyond our usual programming and manifesting into what we didn't think we could expect. Move that into the miraculous, move that into beyond what we think is possible, and then maybe even a little bit beyond that. So if you haven't thought of anything, perhaps now's a good time to allow something to come into your head. It can be something for yourself, for someone else or some others, or for your world. And if you feel like you can hold more than one thing for this particular gathering, then absolutely, by all means, do so. I'm a terrible multitasker, so I always like to focus on one, but I think, more is more. And if you want something for yourself, for your world, for people you love, or lots of things for yourself, then allow those to come into your mind. And if nothing comes into your mind, you know what? That's okay too, because you can just open to the resonance of all of that love that is flooding in right now, that opening of the vortex, that divine light, that divine love, the light of Sirius moving into our world, moving into our lives, moving into your being. It's a little turbulent in our world right now, but it's also incredibly exciting because we are in this monumental expansion of consciousness. And I bring this up because for the last couple of decades, I have channeled an incredibly wonderful angelic guide from the angelic realm named Arcanth. And over the last year or so, I have encountered many other wondrous, extraordinary beings that I really did not expect to encounter. And they are cosmic beings, galactic beings, beings from other realms. And I think because of this evolution that we are in the midst of, this new world that we are creating, there are so many other consciousnesses and beings that want to communicate with us and perhaps share some of what they have discovered, and also get some of what we do. So tonight, I have been offered by these wondrous beings to share their love and insight with us. And how it's proceeded over the last year or so is in weekly channeling sessions with a very intimate group of people. We've brought in these guides and entities and beings. We've brought them in. We've had dialogue. There have been questions asked one-on-one, and then we moved to the next one during these sessions. And they came forward and suggested that for this particular event that they come as more of a collective, so that they speak as one voice. And that seemed definitely like the right move for this. And they really wanted to share this time with us with the Vortex of Sirius open. So for the purposes of tonight, this group will be called My Star Council. And I'm not exactly sure what they want to talk about. There may be some meditative experience, there may be ritual, they may share some things. I do know that it's coming through an immense amount of love and respect for us and who we are, and this wonderful journey that we are on this earthly plane of reality. And during this incredible time of expansion and paradigm shifting and consciousness raising and evolving. And without further ado, I invite you to just sit back, have that impossible dream or those impossible dreams, those just beyond your reach, have those just sort of in your mind or floating around your space, or allow that energy of the seeming impossible becoming possible, particularly during this time and these 55 days, and today setting that in motion, and allowing that to just kind of float around in your being. And at this time, I'm going to go a little deeper into trance and invite in the Star Council. And I'll see you all on the other side. Well, hello and greetings to you all. Yes, a gathering of you and a gathering of we on what has been called, yes, this auspicious day. And we would suggest certainly, yes, an auspicious energy is at play for you in your world. And it is wonderful to be engaged and participating in this way with you in this timing. Yes, in this timing of this particular alignment, and also in this timing of this resonance on your planet. So this particular alignment with, as you say, the vortex of Sirius open, this particular alignment with the flow of the love of the goddess moving through the flow and the light of Sirius moving on to and into your planetary systems, but also onto the planet and also into the consciousness of Earth itself, into the consciousness of the inhabitants of Earth. And we do not just mean the inhabitants in human form, we mean all the inhabitants, and allowing this love, this opening, this vortex, this particular resonant wave, allowing that to have impact on you. It has subtle impact even on those that do not participate in the same way that you do. But when you call attention to it, when you acknowledge it, when you affirm it within yourselves, those shifts, those possibilities, those allowances, that resonance can expand within yourself and expand within your reality. And yes, beyond this particular day, beyond this particular resonant vibration, beyond this particular, as you would say, set of days, but to allow it to reverberate within your being and to reverberate within your world in a way that that love, that anchor, that light continues to grow, continues to expand, continues to allow what you call miraculous, what you call beyond what seems possible. Because if it enters your mind, we would suggest, perhaps affirm, that it is indeed possible. It is indeed something that you can create in your reality. And by create, we suggest allow. If it enters your realm of possible, it is already possible. So allowing that frequency, that resonance to then expand with this particular love, that allows you to receive beyond what you can conceive, and moving into beyond what you can conceive, you perpetually can expand that which you will receive. So it creates a wondrous cycle. This particular alignment, this particular resonance, this beautiful song of Sirius, this beautiful gift from the divine that moves through with such elegance into your lives, into your possibilities, into your heart, can continue to carry forward, can tap you into that which you are already in alignment with and beyond that. Why? Because love is ever expanding. Love is ever expanding and ever refilling your cup. And that is not just for you. That is indeed a universal truth. Ever expanding love, ever expanding love. And with that, ever expanding possibility. And with ever expanding possibility, that which you believe to be possible continues to exceed what you believe to be possible. So yes, as was suggested, dream the impossible dream and recognize that that can be just the tip of your magnificent iceberg. That can be just the beginning of your dreams. The dreams that seem a little bit out there, just beyond your reach, are the beginning of even more. That will integrate into you, that one, that few, that many, yes, for yourself, and that which you are welcoming or thinking is maybe possible in my world, that will become, oh, well, there it is. Oh, well, there we are. Oh, well, look at this world. I never thought that was possible, and now that is just commonplace every day for me, for others, for my world. And then it can move beyond that. That's how it's supposed to work. That is how love flows. And yes, it can get a little jumbled up sometimes. It can get a little bit tangled up. We can find ourselves in the weeds, so to speak. The human consciousness, certainly others in other places, in other dimensions, in other realms, in other galaxies, in other planetary systems, they may not call it the weeds as you do, but they can certainly find themselves on the weeds too, or in the weeds, or under the weeds, but does not need to be that way. Yes, lessons, and yes, there can be challenge and exploration, and certainly moving into a human form to explore and expand and try things on. Yes, but the natural flow of the universe, the natural flow of love, the natural flow for you is grace and elegance and love that is ever expanding, and how that love translates into that which you desire, translates into the perceptions and conceptions and forms in your reality. And those are ever changing, ever expanding, ever growing through more love. And this becomes available in a much more accessible manner. Through this resonance, through this wondrous vortex, through this love, this light. We, as many, are intrigued by the beauty of the love that we witness within the realm of the earth plane. And that love echoes. That love echoes throughout the cosmos. Know that about yourselves. Certainly not the only thing, but what we focus on in this particular moment, in this time, is that love. That resonance that is now elevating, that is evolving the consciousness on what you call the planet Earth. The consciousness in this wondrous band of the realm of Earth. The frequency of Earth. The consciousness is opening to more and more love. And when you look, you see it. Yes, through the noise. Through the noise of the constriction, the dying paradigms, as you may see it, as darker chaos. That friction. But what arises out of that? The resonance of love. The song of love. You meet that beauty, that resonance, that divine love that moves through that wondrous vortex of Sirius. you meet that with your love, your light, your radiance. Ah, and what a beautiful combination. What a beautiful co-creation that is. Creating new avenues, new possibilities, new ways for love to show up in your life, in the lives of those around you, and in your world. And with that, we would like to take you on a very short journey, a journey of allowing that love to expand, a journey of the merging of your light and your love with the light and love of the divine, with the light and love that moves through Sirius at this time, bathing your realities, bathing your planet, bathing this frequency in love. The channel suggested that you bring with you in your mind something that you desire that seems beyond your reach. Bring that into focus now. Imagine that. Conjure it in your mind's eye. Allow it to stir in your heart. Or just open yourself to that possibility. And now, coming in to your mind's eye, coming in to your private space, is a beautiful orb of light. A wondrous silvery blue ball of light. It's quite large. And as you imagine it closer, within this wondrous radiant light, perhaps are hundreds of other sparkling balls of light. Light within light, within light, within light. All of this light just for you. Now, as you imagine that which you desire, that impossible dream, or those impossible dreams, wishes, as you bring them more into the forefront, perhaps one or two or three or several of the beautiful little balls of light within this wondrous sphere of light move closer to you. They travel in through several or one of your chakras. Their purpose? To help lift and clear any residue, anything that may stand in the way of your impossible dream becoming not only possible, but probable and yours in your reality, in the timing that is most elegant for you. So allow them in, allow them to travel perhaps through your crown and down through your body, perhaps into your heart. Allow them to move into your body to help clear the pathway. Help release any resistance. You don't have to know what they are. Allow love, divine light, to help. All you need do is allow. And then these balls of light move out of your being and dissipate. They will find their way back to the divine, to be transmuted, transformed. And now, your being has a little bit of space. That impossible dream, those impossible dreams, still very present, still ready and ripe, and now, oh, there's space for them. And now that wondrous sphere, that beautiful sphere of light, that as you look closer has all those wondrous spheres. It's light after light after light after light after light. Now give your dreams, your wishes, your desires, give the impossible to this wondrous light. Release it from your being and give it to this light. And as you give and as you release, this light bursts. And it's blinding in its radiance and then all these twinkling, wondrous, sparkling, tiny, dancing specks of wondrous light, bright, silvery blue, all of these wondrous tiny sparks move into you. Perhaps they travel the same way through your chakras, or they just move into your being and fill you. They also move out into your world to fill your world. Yes, with your desire, your impossible dream that is now not only possible, not only probable, but is yours to allow to manifest in your reality. Allow that light, that divine light, allow those sparkles of light to fill you and to fill your world. And know that they will grow in expected and unexpected ways. Yours is to allow that love into yourself, into your world. And you are changed. And that change can change everything. You now filled with divine light and love, and that blends with your light and love. And we suggest what a marvelous cocktail that is. Now go about your days and weeks and make note of how it shows up for you. It has been our honor to share this time with you. And we will depart, offering you many, many, many blessings. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me and joining Star Council. And happy July 23rd. And I hope to see you again when we gather. Good night, everybody.